because y'all know I do this. I one believe that the softness of your yarn can be determined by the sound of the squish. So here we go. If you can barely hear it, it's soft. It's soft. Hey all my crafty friends, welcome to another episode with me, Marquita of Marquita Makes. I'm so happy to have you here with me in my little corner of the internet. And today I have a few acquisitions to share with you guys that I recently purchased. And I also want to share with you guys some of my most recent makes that I'm so thrilled and happy about. And also a few whips. And they're still not all the whips that I'm working on. But anyways, let's get started. I hope that you guys have had a great week, and I have really been working on not doing too much editing so that I can get videos out to you guys a little bit quicker. So forgive me if you see me flubbing around, bumbling around, but it's for your benefit. Maybe you'll get a kick out of it. Who knows? We'll see. So anyways, the first thing I want to share with you guys is a shawl that I've been working on very recently, adding to my whip list. And the pattern is from Mandobug Crafts. So Mandobug has a YouTube channel that I absolutely love. I especially love the accounts that not only share new and wonderful, glorious yarns and why we need to buy them, but also how to work with them. So Amanda spins, she knits, she crochets. I think she does diamond art. Amanda's amazing. She usually has a live on Saturdays that I try to tune into. This month has been a little bit of a challenge, but she also has cowls that you can follow along with too. And Amanda does everything. She's just wonderful, and she's a really good teacher. So about that pattern, it's a simple, as she said, asymmetrical shawl that has a little bit of lace. And I'm not a fan of lace, but when it's given in small amounts, I love it because I don't like things that are just too frilly because I'm not that frilly girl, you know, but I do like a little detail. So I thought this was perfect. Of course, I haven't gotten very far, but as this grows, that lace, I think you can see it here a lot better, that lace is going to work out beautifully stretching across. So I need to put a stitch marker in this. So I'm loving this pattern. It's available not only on her YouTube for free, but it is also available, the written pattern is also available for free. I forget, it might be on Ravelry or it could be Etsy, but I downloaded it and I have it as well. It's very easy and simple to follow. You do have to watch your row count, and when you get to the lace you have to really pay attention to what you're doing too, because I thought automatically, oh, if you do it here, you're going to do it there. No, not exactly. So it is, the lace portion is repetitive where you will do so many, I call them blank rows. You know, you just work across plain rows with double crochets. But then you switch to lace, and the lace is on one end, it's a little bit different than the other, so you got to pay attention. But other than that, it's very simple, very easy to follow. Now, Amanda, in her pattern, Amanda, if you're watching, I know in your pattern you used mohair. I have the mohair. It looks like it's just hanging on. I have the mohair. But what had happened was I thought that I would make my shawl a little bit longer and add this beautiful fuchsia. These both are Malabrigo yarns. This is a single lot, no dye lot, no name. But what I wanted to do is add a little bit more fuchsia in my wardrobe. Thanks, Christy Glass. That girl knows she can wear some fuchsia and looks amazing in it. So she's inspired me to give a yarns, colorways that I never thought that I would really like a try because I didn't think it would really go with my skin tone, but I was wrong. I was wrong. It looks really good with it. Thanks, Christy. But anyways, Amanda, I thought what I would do is part of the scarf be this single lot. I love it, and because it's so dark, it has so many dark indigo spots, it has a very similar look to your shawl. So I thought, well, maybe I can hold off the mohair on that and pair it when I work up so far, and pair it with this fuchsia But I worked a little sample, maybe like an inch and a half long, decided to frog it, these two. You can frog mohair. If you can, you're a magician. You're an incredible, amazingly talented person if you can easily frog mohair, because I couldn't and I had to cut it. But it's really pretty. So because this will be a very permanent decision, I'm not sure if I want to incorporate it in. I know I don't, because there's so much darkness already going on. Like, it already has the look of that gorgeous pattern that you use. And I know you used a Hobie yarn, but I want to use something from my stash. And I thought this would be perfect for it, and it is. But it might be a little bit shorter than I thought, because I'm scared. I don't know if I want to use that mohair and have to frog it, because I really, really love this yarn. But what if it does? It's just a yarny dilemma, so I'm just not sure how I want to work that. But this is, and I think Amanda, you used like you held 2 fingering weights together. I'm not quite sure, I forget, but I had already made up my mind that I was just gonna use the fingering, because I like the look. I didn't want the thickness of the double. It's just what I'm feeling right now. But anyway, so I decided to stay with the fingering, and I'm using my Clover E hook, and it is a 3.5 millimeter. I don't know, Amanda. We shall see. But that's why I've stopped where I am, because I don't know if I want to fool with that mohair. It's pretty though. We just have to see. I just might stick to the one. So anyways, that's one of my current whips. Be sure to check Amanda out. I love her channel so much. And my second is, do y'all remember when I said, oh, I'm so excited about the TL Yarn Craft Crochet Academy? And I was, and it was great, and it was awesome. But all the patterns I think were using an acrylic yarn, and I wanted to work with the worsted. And I had acrylic yarn in my stash. I was like, oh, I'm going to use it. But then it hit me how hot I was going to be in it in Alabama, and it's really, really, the Omar shawl that I was going to make is really, really dense. So I frogged all that yarn, and thankfully it was before I got to this landscape, because it's not so easy to frog either. But I frogged all that yarn, and I started to work on a triangle shawl. And it's probably going to be a wrap, because I think it's going to be fairly big. Y'all, I love it so much. So I decided to make a triangle shawl, and it has no name. I haven't written any of it down, because it's just one of those soul flowing, you know, shawls, makes, where however I feel by the end of the row, I just go with it. And that's what I've been doing. So with my solids, I knew I didn't want to do too much with the solid right here. If you can tell, I just worked in the back loop. And although I'm not a huge fan of lace, I needed some openness so that, you know, I can breathe, my body can breathe through it, you know, because we don't have we don't have lasting cold days here in Alabama. So y'all know that's been my dilemma from the beginning on my channel with acrylic yarns, but I've been finding some that really are working with me in the Alabama weather. So this yarn is the Red Heart Soft. That's my solid in the color Cinnabar. It's 256 yards, and I think I had 2 of these. 256 yards is 100% acrylic. It doesn't have a dye lot either. And it has this sheen that I felt the Lion brand Harvest, and I shared with you guys previously too, how I acquired this yarn. I went yarn shopping with my friend Adrienne. She's so sweet, and she found this last one. It was on clearance, and I wanted it so bad. And she purchased it and ended up gifting it to me. So once again, Adrienne, thank you so much. But this is the Lion brand Harvest Moon. Love my fall colors, and I love the Harvest Moon. and honeymoon too. But anyways, it is 147 yards, and I had 2 of these, and it's 100% acrylic. So if you noticed here, what I did was with the Lion brand landscapes, because it's variegated, I like stripes. And I really don't like my colors like all over the place depending on what they are. I like structure. So with my solid, you know, there's more lace in my solid for that nice flow. Not too much lace though. And then with my variegated, with the landscapes, I chose to use more granny stitches and stitches that are a little bit closer together where you can see the transition of color a lot better. So like here, I'll probably get real crazy with starting a lace with it, and I am using an H hook. I love these stitch markers so much, but I am using an H hook, and I think that's the recommended hook size. But I have lots of lace going on in my solid and not so much, but I need that openness. So like I'm using a granny stitch when I feel like it. I'm just whatever I decide to come up with, and I'm loving it. And I hope it's going to be more of a wrap than it is going to be a shawl. That should be a nice size. I love it, y'all. So I'm really happy about that. I can tell I will not overheat in it. It's going to be great. And in my cup, let's see. In my cup today, I am drinking a Beantown. It got a little wet. A Beantown tea. It's called Monk's Blend. Now, it's recommended you can drink it straight up, which I had a whole cup of it straight up yesterday. It was so good. But I decided to also use the recommendations where it says try with milk and sugar. And I put a tablespoon of cream because I love cream. And I used monk fruit instead of sugar. And the ingredients, I'm not very familiar with this type of tea. It's Ceylon tea, and it's a darkish kind of brown. Like, can you see in my cup? Like it, with the cream, it comes out like a coffee color, but it's not a black tea. I've got to look it up, y'all. I got to do my research. So I'll write more about that on the blog. And then it has the Ceylon tea. I guess that's Ceylon tea. And the calendula. I'm not familiar with that either, but it sounds like a flower. And this is natural flavors. Y'all, this is good. And it's good in a sense where it tastes sweet like Darjeeling tea. It tastes like a dessert tea, and it's not. And I'm talking about the experience before the sugar and the cream. It tastes like something that you would pair with, like if you have a slice of cake. It's not bitter at all. And I actually, this particular one, before I added the sugar and monk fruit, I heated it up and it was still so good. I had let it sit too long while it was steeping, and it is, that particular one is a loose leaf tea. But it was just so good. But yes, it tastes like, it wasn't bitter at all, but it tastes like something you would want to pair with a dessert tea. Almost like you would if it was a coffee, but it's not bitter. It's so hard for me to explain. And it doesn't taste too floral either. Almost a fruit in a way. I haven't quite put my finger on it, so I'm going to do my research about that. So anyways, another make that I have. Now, one, I have shared it on Instagram. And the yarns that I used for it were the Untangled Yarn Orange Sherbet. And it's 100% fine organic merino wool. And it's a fingering sock weight. It was 437 yards. And this is all I have left. And it has a transition of very light peachy pink to very light, because it's orange sherbet, to very light orange, and then a dark peach. These are my colors. These are my colors. And the second one is from the Knit Crate. Aldine Wools Interlock by Knit Crate. And this was from the TL Yarn Craft Designer of the Month selection. Now, if you see, I don't know if you can see it, but it is extremely, extremely shiny. And it was 34% cotton, 35% linen, and it feels like it too. It's soft, but feels strong. 19% lyocell, and I wonder if that's a bamboo and why it's so shiny. 11% nylon, that could be some shine. It was 351 yards, 100 grams. So I paired these two together because this was a softer, more halo, not halo-y, but it has even the cloud look appearance. It is a, you know, for this to be 100% merino, it's like a really strong, like you could use this for socks. And I know it may felt a bit, but it's not super wash. But that's the point. It's not super wash, so it has that nice softness to it, if you can see. And I really needed it to tone down this orange. Like the orange from the Aldine wools was so bright. It was almost fluorescent. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's a perfect pairing. It made a whole cowl, and I'm cold, you guys, so I decided to keep on my, it was a chilly day today, I decided to keep on my shawl, which I'm kind of wearing like a scarf. It is the, what is Natalie's Detroit Knots Luna Fade shawl. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I actually finished a commission piece of this shawl too, and I do have it listed on in my Etsy shop. I wore it previously in a video. I love it. I don't overheat in it, and it's still, everyone else in the family still seems to be kind of cool. I'm not. I mean, I'm cold. But so the temp in the house is great for them, not so much for me. But this turned out beautifully. I did use it in the V-stitch, and it is very, very plush. What I didn't show on Instagram was this beanie. It is very, very plush, and this beanie, if you can tell, has a pinkish tint to it that goes really well with that pink that you see here. Now, in this portion, you can tell that I didn't put any of the merino wool in it, so it might have that fluorescent look to it. But I love this set together. Love, love, love this set. And I love how thick and squishy, but with the V-stitch, it will be a bit breathable. So I love this set. And this set too has a story. Well, actually the cowl scarf has a story in itself. I'm not sure if I want to share it, but if you're watching this video, thank you so much for your love. I really appreciate you. Thank you. So I may not share it. That might be all that I say. But yeah, I love how this turned out. I really do. I really, really, really love this set. I rarely work with the V-stitch, and I'm not sure if you use this technique, but when I make my brim, I do favor, if it's a quick brim, to work a double crochet and then a half double crochet, back and forth until I get the length that I want, and then I'll join it together with a slip stitch. But then what I go and do is I work the top of that stitch, single crochets around before I switch the yarns or I start this part here. And so of course I work it in the round, and when I get here I seam it together and close it shut. And I leave that long strand that I have to seam it. I also just pull the loop through the faux pom-pom to pull it tight and seal it in. And I just recently got into pom-poms, and that's how come I have these here, because my local yarn store has the cutest poms, and a friend of mine was so sweet to explain to me how to be able to tell if it's a really good pom or not. And she said, one is the fullness, and two, also the way that it moves. Like, it kind of reminds me of a Muppet. but they were the perfect size. They're not too large. I really don't like those large palms. They're just perfect smalls and medium. And I think I dropped one. So the very last thing that I make, besides the commission piece that I worked on, I have some more whips, y'all, but I'm not going to show you all. But the last thing that I finished was my first knit scarf. Well, actually, it's going to be a cowl. This is for Nina, and she wants to wear it whether or not I add any fringe or not. She wants to wear it this way closed. She said it feels really fancy when I was working on it, and I use the Luxe Craft Cozy yarn from Joanne, and this was one donut of it. She really liked it, so I'm not sure if she'll like the fringe, and I have some more, or I could just add one more ball to it and make it, she's 7, so this will still fit as a scarf, but she did say that she liked the way the cowl looked because it looked fancy, so I might either seam it or put buttons on it. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll just let her pick. I believe her when she says she really loves it. She was so excited to see it. But it's not my best work, but I didn't give up. I'm getting there, and I used the size 13 needles, I think I did. 13 needles. So, last things I wanted to share, I want to make sure I have everything, are my acquisitions. And one more thing after the acquisition. So, first, after much time, consideration, thinking, admiration, I finally got me some Sweet Georgia yarns. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sweet Georgia, but they are an amazing company. The CEO is a wonderful, beautiful person named Felicia. I think it's Felicia Lee Wong. And she dyes, she knits, I think she crochets, she spins. She is just amazing, and she does all these things. She shares them on YouTube. She also has a blog. She also has Instagram, and she's all about the education of fabrics, textiles, and yarny goodness. So I have been wanting for so long this particular mini skein kit, and it is called Party of 5. It's a mini skein yarn set. I keep saying kit. It's a reason why too. I'm not going to put these back in here in order, but I've been wanting these for a long time because I like stripes, and I also like variegated, and I really wish I could have afforded to purchase 2 of these because they would make an amazing color block sweater. So beautiful. But we'll talk about this yarn. So I'll leave all the links and everything to find out more about Sweet Georgia, so I don't go on and on and on and on and on about how awesome the company is. But Felicia's amazing, and this particular colorway is called Hearth. Hearth. Sorry, it's called Hearth. These mini skeins are made with the Tough Love sock, and it's 105 yards, 96 meters. I believe she is based in Canada, but I think this was packaged in New York or shipped from New York. 96 meters, 1 ounce. This is all per skein, 28 grams. 80% superwash merino and 90% woolen. This is a true sock yarn. I get why it's called Tough Love sock. Just me rubbing it. It is soft, very soft to the touch. It is like, sweater worthy. I would love to make a sweater in this. It is sweater worthy. But it's, and to me, sweater worthy sweaters, socks, like yarn for socks, they're going to get a lot of love. So I love that although this feels soft, it doesn't feel so soft that it feels like it's going to felt after you wear it. Of course, because it's an 80-20 blend, it's perfect. It's the perfect amount of softness. You can't hear it when you squish it. That means it's really soft. That's my squish test factor right there. And the colors are, I put these back in here and I shouldn't have, but this is Molasses, Auburn, I'm doing it so backwards, Ginger, Cayenne, my favorite, and Tangerine. Maybe Tangerine's my favorite. But I found out about this particular kit when I was looking to purchase yarns from Garbenhaus. And I heard about Garbenhaus, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, online store from Bag O' Day Crochet. Because they were running a really good special and she had a coupon and I saw it there. But after all this time of eyeing, spying, lurking, Sweet George yarn, because I really have for a very long time, and I did have a coupon when I purchased this, I decided to purchase directly from the company because I wasn't for sure how much commission they receive when you purchase somewhere else, and I'm glad that it's available in other places, but I really want to show my appreciation to Felicia and all that she does to educate us as crafters. She gives us so much time and so many valuable resources. I had to say that. So please be sure, if you're not familiar with Sweet Georgia Yarns, please be sure to check out all of her connects from YouTube to Instagram. She's really awesome. I really enjoy her blog as well. But I'm not quite sure what I want to make with these yet. But the color blocking is definitely in it. It's gorgeous. I think I know. But I don't know exactly if that's definitely what I want to make with it. It's so beautiful. But anyways, I also have my first ever purchase from Wool and the Gang. Have to say this. Before I made this purchase, I didn't see on their site any wools that would be agreeable to my skin because I do have wool allergy. But I'm not sure how long they've had this particular one, but I'm glad because I shouldn't have any issues with it. It took me so long to purchase from the company because I wasn't quite sure how my skin would react to their yarns. So I recently saw a post that they made and I thought I would give them a try when I saw that they had Super Trooper wool, which is 100% superwash merino wool. It could have just been 100% merino wool and I doubt I would have had a reaction to it, but it's great. Now I've just touched the 80-20 Sweet George yarns and I can tell you right off that this is much softer. Now the Super Trooper wool is 87 yards, 80 meters, 50 grams, and I already mentioned that it's 100% superwash merino. It is very soft. Now we can do the squish test, and I have noticed though that I compare a lot of in comparison, like when I compare a yarn, how soft a yarn is, I tend to compare it to Malabrigo. It's such a soft yarn. And if you can hear, because y'all know I do this, I believe that the softness of your yarn can be determined by the sound of the squish. So here we go. If you can barely hear it, it's soft. It's soft, because I could barely hear that. And it has a nice ta 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 ta. Okay, so thank you, Wool and the Gang, for introducing me to a new yarn. I did get this at a discounted rate. The shipping wasn't too bad, I don't believe. I don't really like to share a lot of times the prices of yarns because they vary when you can purchase it. But I will say this, make sure in everything that you purchase online, before you make the purchase, always sign up for the newsletter or a subscription or whatever, because 9 times out of 10 they will send you after the sign up some type of discount if you don't already do that. But I do have one small teeny tiny complaint, and I don't like to complain too much, and I really don't like to share things that don't work for me. But this is a really nice yarn. But I will say that the mustard is showing up. The mustard is showing up pretty much true to color. Let's see. You know, it's the typical dark mustard type color, and it's called Mustang Sally. The beige also is showing up true to color. I mean, it's beige. And I didn't buy these for myself. I actually bought these to crochet a hat. But while I love the color of the terracotta, and I know terracotta comes in various colors and variations, this has that more of a mauve, brownish tone. And to me, terracottas are usually much more clay. And this is kind of sort of clay, but it's more mauve and dusty rose kind of color. But it's just the name of the color to me didn't quite meet my expectations of what the color would be. I was kind of sort of hoping that it would come up a little more, and this is about the color that is, that it would come to me a little more pinkish, a little more orangey than what you're seeing here. But no, it does look that kind of brownish rose color. But the others are definitely what they claim to be. I really wish you guys could see the richness of this mustard. That's why I keep changing, and I think that might do it. But I am not disappointed at all. They feel really good. I'm very satisfied. I will probably purchase from them again. Now, I don't know if I mentioned the spin. On the Sweet Georgia, but it is a 3-ply. And I noticed when I was holding the yarn, it didn't look like a 3-ply. It looked more like a 2-ply, which means it's probably spun really, really tight. It has a really nice spin on it, and it has that kind of relaxed look that gives it that extra sheen. So even though this doesn't have any bamboo, it won't be like super shiny, that nylon in it, the stitch definition is definitely gonna pop in this. Now there's no nylon in this yarn, but the spin is really tight. It's really tight. I'm not sure how many plies it has. It's probably a 4. I'm not sure how many plies it has, but this is going to have some great stitch definition. I know that now, but it won't have that same shiny look that would, and that matters to me when I'm crafting. But anyways, before I share the very last thing that I want to share with you guys today, I have to say, I did start on my socks, and I shared in the last episode how far. I haven't made any progress from the last video, so I won't be showing any. There are others that you may want to follow that are participating in October, and they are doing an awesome job on their socks. That look so great. They're so beautiful. I'm loving all the different colors, and I still am going to continue to look for a pattern for the earth yarns. I do want them crochet. For some reason, I want them crochet. But yes, that's where I'm with my socks. So no progress yet because I've been working on other things, but I plan to pick it back up this weekend. So anyways, the very last thing that I want to talk to you guys about are not just these stitch markers that I purchased from Lady Dye Yarn. They do not make these stitch markers. Lady Dye Yarn, I'm trying to turn these around. Lady Dye Yarn supports other small businesses, and this particular one is DK Graham. These stitch markers are the wood, what are they called? Like wood burned, wood, I can't think of the name, I never can remember, but they are Twilight Zone stitch markers. I love the Twilight Zone. I love sci-fi. Do you see this? And if you look really, really closely here, you can see that the O and zone is a yarn ball. I thought that was so cute. So I wanted to talk about Lady Dye Yarns. You've possibly seen, if you have visited my channel before, that I love Lady Dye Yarns kits, clubs, and her yarns. The owner is Diane, and this, I was just lucky to be able to snag this, and it was discounted. So I want to talk about that for a little bit. Now, I say that because there are so many kits that she puts out a year. Each one has a theme based either on a television show or a movie to her liking. Because of pop culture, almost all of us can relate to his movies from the 80s, 90s. Like, for instance, I plan on receiving a kit for A Different World. I was so young when that show came out, but I appreciate the reruns as I got older. Really, really enjoyed that. So it's a spin-off, in a sense, a spin-off with Denise Huxtable from The Cosby Show, which is Lisa Bonet. She goes off to college, so it's her college life after, you know, leaving home. I can't wait to get that kit. So each kit has a particular colorway, and it will come with goodies such as tees, usually from the Beantown Tea Company, which I was introduced to Beantown from Lady Dye Yarn. Stitch markers, sometimes lotions. It just varies depending on what the theme is. So I'm mentioning all this because I have several kits that are going to come in. I'm having A Different World very soon, Goonies, Gremlins, and then after all that, we start a whole new year in 2022. I'm going to post here well, no, I might be able to get the whole listing of the kits that will be available. Now, it's just the kits. It's not her single colorways that will be available. There's no telling how much fun those are going to be too. And she is an indie dyer, small company, but they just opened their first brick and mortar business in Boston. I think she recently posted on her Instagram that she was at the Sheep and Wool Festival, Rhinebeck. She's gotten so much business that she can't keep up, which is good. She can't keep up with all that is coming in, which is amazing. So with that being said, she has to wait on other small businesses to supply her with everything that's included with the kit before she ships it out. So there's been some delay recently, which is fine. I will wait weeks, I will wait months. It doesn't matter to me when it comes, as long as it comes, because I love everything about Lady Dye Yarn. I'm not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with them anyway, except I love the yarns and I purchase the yarns. But what Diane does do is keep in contact with those that are patrons and support her business. We keep coming back because she's so awesome. And she gives such great coupons, but that's another thing. With all these awesome kits that are coming out, this past year, I know for sure, because that's when I found out about her, she has such good coupon codes that will not be issued out like they were this year. So she has a membership program that you may want to look into signing up for if you plan on purchasing several different kits from her that are just for the members, and they're 10% discount, 20% discount, 30% discount. And if you sign up for the newsletter, like I mentioned before, you can get a discount on, typically, you know, on it, but typically you can get a discount if you sign up for the newsletter for the membership, because next year we won't be getting these discounts, and I'm kind of sad about it, but that just makes me want to sign up for the membership. So, but I'm looking so forward, especially the Fifth Element. I cannot wait in January. So excited about it. But next year, everything ships out differently. Everything will be ready to ship, and members will get first dibs on purchasing the kits, and they do tend to sell out. Sometimes some faster than others. So, had to put that little plug in there. because I love the Lady Dye yarns. Love them, love them, love them. Great customer service. Right now, I think it's a little crazy for them right now because they've opened up the new store. They've gotten so much business. I'm so happy for them. And I'm so ready to get my kits, and I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So that's all I have to share with you guys today. That's really it this time. I know at the end I always go, wait a minute. But that's all I actually have to share with you guys today. And I hope you have had a great week and will have a really, really, really good weekend. I'm going to enjoy my yarns. Stress is always a factor, so we can combat that with crafting. And I really do hope you guys are taking care of yourselves out there and being safe. Take care of you and your family, all those that you love and care about. But I'm going to close this one now, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up so other people can find my channel. That's just how this algorithm is working. Please, if you would like to know someone that would enjoy it as well, share this video with them and maybe decide to subscribe. So in the meantime, I will see you guys later in the next one, and you have a great, great day and week. Take care. Bye-bye.